All right. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Coffee Talk. My name is Brendan with Batdorf and Bronson Coffee Roasters. Today, we're going to be talking through some of our catalog. I know we have a lot of new friends who've been tuning in regularly for our brewing demos. If you haven't seen them, check out the videos on our Facebook page. We've got Chemex, AeroPress, Clever Dripper. We've got some fun, different ones that you're going to love. So check those out. But along with that, we've got some new and some old friends and fans who love our coffees. And I thought today would be a great chance to go over some of those coffees to introduce you to some ones that you may not have tried. All right. Just double checking that we're good. Before I go any further, you can see on screen, I'm certain I'm not pointing the right way. On screen is a coupon. It's Watch and Learn 10. So for all of you who are tuning in and watching the broadcast, if you go to our website, we're going to throw a special link in the comments right now. If you're in the VIP booster group, that link is right there as well, batdorfcoffee.com. Anything that you purchase today using that Watch and Learn 10 code, you're going to get 10% off. So if you'd like to try some new coffees, we're also doing free shipping if you spend $30 or more. So lots of really good values here. For those of you who've been watching lately, you'll notice a change of scenery. This is actually our training center. I've got our nice logo on the wall behind me, and normally this is open every Thursday for coffee cuppings. And we also have other events that we do down here. This is also where we do training for our wholesale accounts. So if you've got a coffee shop, restaurant, anywhere that wants to serve coffee, we've got a full lab here with all the equipment so that you can get a chance to get some hands-on experience, learn how to do all the things that you need to do, and try some amazing coffee. So definitely, once all of this is over with, come down and visit me here. If you're in St. Petersburg, Florida, we would love to have you. Okay, so we're going to do two broadcasts this weekend, one right now, today. And today's broadcast is going to focus on coffees from Africa, and we have one from Indonesia. So let me see if I can show you that right now. Okay, so there we go. So I've got a few coffees here. Starting over here, this is our Burundi Gahahi. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's a single origin from Burundi in Africa. Awesome coffee. Tasting notes for this coffee are tangerine, apricot, and hibiscus. Next, we have Kenya. Tasting notes are currant, jasmine, and stone fruit. So Kenya, awesome, awesome coffee. One of my wife's favorites, actually. Then we have, heading over to Indonesia, the Papua New Guinea Norikori. Tasting notes are lemon, caramel, and cedar. This is one of our newest coffees, and absolutely, I've been loving this coffee. And then last, this is a perennial favorite. It's one of our fan favorites. This is our naturally processed Ethiopian Harar. And it's an amazing coffee with notes of blueberry, sage, and lavender. If you want to know about processing and what that means, shoot a comment, and I'll be happy to answer any question you have, no matter what it's about. So these are the coffees we're going to cover today. Tomorrow in our broadcast, we're going to be covering coffees from the Americas. So I'll give you a sneak peek of that. Where did I put those? Here we go. Hang on. So tomorrow, we're doing Colombia Las Brisas, Guatemala El Volcan, another Guatemala La Esperanza, so you can see the differences, and then our Costa Rica Cerro del Fuego. Those are great coffees. We're going to cup those tomorrow and kind of talk about them. So any questions, again, hit me up. Let me know if you have them. Also, please share the stream. If you haven't already, share it to your Facebook page. Wherever you're at, just share the stream and let folks know that they can join us. They can participate in the discount. They can also win. So as always, I give away stuff on every single broadcast. If you share the live stream, I'll be giving away some coffee today. All right? And hit us up. Let me know if you've tried any of these coffees. If you have a favorite, let us know in the comments. We love to share coffee, so we'd love to know what you love. Okay? So first off, let me talk a little bit about a coffee cupping. I'm going to zoom down here again. So coffee cupping Okay, I'm going to guess that you can hear me now. So hang on just a second, and I will fix it so you can hear me at all times. Sorry about that, guys. 1 second here. Okay, so you should be able to hear me in all circumstances. We are good. Okay, so if you've hung with me this long, I'm sorry about the audio issues, but they should be completely resolved, so you should be able to hear me the rest of the presentation. Okay? All right, so let's get to it. Let me know if you've got a favorite coffee or one you want to try, one you've loved. Give us a shout out. We love African and Indonesian coffees. We also have a great Sumatra. Since we went a little Indonesian, that's another one that's awesome. I wish I had it on the table here. But these are just some of the selections of what we offer regularly. So, go to here. Again, I'm sorry that you weren't able to hear me, but you should be able to hear me great now, and we shouldn't have any more trouble. Okay, so coffee cupping, we're going to do that every day in our roastery, like I said. Today, we're going to take a look at it. People like to compare it to a wine tasting, right? There's a specific way to do it. So what we're going to do is to go through coffee cupping. The first thing we do is we grind the coffee to a specific standard set by the Specialty Coffee Association. So I'm going to grab each coffee, and I'm going to do what's called the dry sniff. For the dry sniff, I'm going to kind of tap the cup a little bit. I'm going to cover my nose and open my mouth. By doing that, it allows you to smell a little bit more. Leave your mouth open, cover your nose, and it gives your olfactory system better access to all the smells. So just smell it, think about it. Now, in a normal coffee cupping, they're typically blind. We don't know what we're tasting, especially when it's a green bean buyer, because we don't want to be biased. We want to have just an honest assessment of the coffee. Woo, that is lovely. So this is our Ethiopian Harar. Notes are blueberry, sage, and lavender. Very berry forward. Our customers love this one. They call it the blueberry coffee. It's amazing. Just to be clear, these are not flavored coffees, meaning that we're not using artificial chemicals to get an artificial flavor. This is just the terroir. It's just the natural flavor that's in the coffee. And those flavors can be reminiscent in African coffees. Oftentimes, they're very reminiscent of berries and fruity flavors. Sometimes citrus, lemon, tomato, grapefruit, blueberries, strawberry. There's all kinds of great flavors that you can find in African coffees. And so the blueberry's really evident here. So then the next one, I'm going to grab the Papua New Guinea. Here. Give it a shake, give it a smell. And you may not smell what's on the bag, right? That's okay. The dry sniff is just the first step. Okay? Now we're going to grab the Kenya. Love this Kenya. We just finished up our Java Jam Pit Estate, or if we're not done with it, we're real close to being done with it. That was a great one as well. Okay. Think about what you're smelling. Think about, does it relate to what the tasting notes are? It may not. It's personal. Okay, and now I'm doing the Burundi. This is a washed coffee. What that means is that the coffee cherry, the fruit, is mechanically separated from the bean, which is a seed, with water. So we call it washed. Our Ethiopia is a natural process, and that means that the coffee cherry is laid out on raised beds in the sun. Think of it like sun tea. We let the sun kind of do the work of causing it to sort of wither off. As a result, it leaves a little bit more of that sort of mucilage behind, and you can pick up some fruitier flavors from that, as well as some like pleasantly tangy notes that kind of come with that mild fermentation that sort of happens in that process. It's really, really good. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to pour some hot water on them. So if I can ask my lovely assistant to bring me some hot water. Thank you so much. Say hi, lovely assistant.
Hi, guys.
This is my wife, Pamela. Pam, would you grab that towel right there? Okay. Thanks. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to pour hot water on each of the coffees. We're just going to fill it up all the way. You'll notice there's no filter. And that's to keep from the bias of the brew method, right? Every brew method has its own way of affecting the coffee, and a lot of that has to do with filtration. Not all of it, but a lot of it. So by just pouring the water directly onto the coffee without a filter, we're allowing the coffee to just hang out with the water. Water is an excellent solvent. It goes right to work on the coffee. So we're going to allow this to brew right in these cups for about 4 minutes. In fact, let's set a timer. Okay, so we're going to go for 4 minutes. At the end of the 4 minutes, we will have the coffee brewed to where we like it, and we'll take the next step. So we've got 4 minutes to kill. This is a great time to ask questions. If there's one of these coffees that you're interested in, let us know what it is. Have you tried any of them? What do you think? What are your questions? How do you feel about African and Indonesian coffees? I'm in love with them. I think they're amazing. They're interesting. They're fun. The Burundi, relatively new, tangerine, apricot, hibiscus. I went into one of our coffee shops that carries our coffee, Southside Coffee Brew Bar. Shout out to Sheila. And she was brewing up the Burundi, and I'm telling you, it was just delightful. It was so delicious in the cup. So sweet. It's a little bit, I don't know, just the sweetness that you get from like a fresh, ripe piece of fruit. But it was still a good cup of coffee. It still had enough body behind it that it didn't feel like you were drinking something other than coffee. It was lovely. Really, really well balanced. The Kenya, currant, jasmine, and stone fruit. I really get that stone fruit, like peaches kind of thing. It's hard to describe, but it's amazing. And then just kind of a florality to it, right? That's what I'm getting from that jasmine. something floral. By the way, bottom of the bag, we can see that this was roasted on 4/15. You guys see that? So if you ever have a question about how fresh your coffee is, see if there's a roasted on date. If there's a roasted on date, you know how fresh it is. And you should really be consuming coffee within a few weeks of roast. Ideally, we start to notice a denigration in freshness between 10 and 14 days off roast. Your palate will start to pick it up. Doesn't mean the coffee's trash the second it hits that, but it does mean that you're in the process of losing some of those flavors. It's kind of like a curve, right? Kind of a bell curve. As you go up the curve right off roast, the coffee is going to get better and better for somewhere between 2 and 7 days, right? Between 2 and 7 days, we're consistently improving the flavor. Off roast, it's going to degas a little bit. The flavors are going to kind of meld a little bit. Some of the roastiness will mellow a little bit right off that roast. It's a little too roasty. And so it's going to improve for those days. I think about day 5 is almost ideal drinking time. But anything after 2 days is acceptable, right? So somewhere between 2 and 7 days, it's going to improving. Somewhere in that 5 to 10 day window, it sort of plateaus. It's pretty peak quality. And then somewhere around, you start to lose a little bit after about 2 weeks. You're still in a really acceptable window through the 3rd week. And then by the time you get to 4 weeks off roast, you're starting to lose a significant amount of freshness in the coffee. So for us in our retail shops, we keep the coffee within 2 weeks because we want it to be optimally fresh for you. We want you to enjoy it. When you order it from us, we roast and ship the exact same day so that you can have it as fresh as possible, the longest shelf life possible, which is great, right? African coffees, as a rule, I think they age pretty well. They tend to last a little bit longer as long as you keep them in good airtight containment. In fact, do we have an airtight container or two? So if you're opening your coffee and you're leaving the beans on the counter, you're doing yourself a disservice. Buying fresh coffee should involve storing fresh coffee. Thank you, Pam. And so we have these awesome little containers. These are our AirScape coffee containers. I put my label inside the top part so I know what it is. They have a little thingamabobber. Let me see here. Okay, so you can see this real well. So you see that inside part? If I turn it up, now it's straight up. Now I can pull it out and unseal it. And my coffee is nice and fresh inside. When I put it back in and push down, all the air comes out. I'll hold it to my microphone. Now all I have to do is turn it down, and if I pull, it does not come out. It's locked in place. Then, if you're like me, I put my little label with a roast date in the name. And then I just stick this on top. And that's it. Really, really simple. These are awesome containers. They look great. Keep your light roast in one and your dark roast in the other. You'll always know it's nice and fresh. You can get those on our website, which is batdwarfcoffee.com, or follow the link that we put in the description. I believe it's in the description, and it's in the comments. If it's not there, we'll get it in there. But follow the link, and you can purchase that. It's under gifts and accessories. Gifts, apparel, and accessories. You'll find these under that section.
We have a question.
What's the question?
Is there a flavor spectrum that coffee uses, like a unit of measurement or just notes? Flavor notes?
So, yeah, we'll share a photo, take a photo of both of those posters, share them in there. We're going to share some, couple of posters that are really popular in coffee. One is our cupping attributes that lets us know what we're looking for in the cup. And 2 is the flavor wheel. So coffee has different components. The components can include acidity, and acidity is the thing that gives coffee brightness. It makes it lively. It makes it interesting and fun. There's also, we're also looking for sweetness. We're looking to find out, is it sweet? We're looking for the tanginess in the cup. We're looking for mouthfeel. How does it fall on our mouth? Does it wash away clean? Does it linger on the mouth? We're looking for aroma. What are we smelling in the cup? All of those elements are present. But honestly, any chemical combination of flavor can pretty much exist in coffee. Meaning there are so many things present inside of the coffee that the roasting process, much like when you're cooking and you're caramelizing, it's bringing out additional flavors. It's bringing additional sweetness. And those acids and those lipids and those different aromatic compounds, those flavors are all going to be present in the cup. So good question. Okay, so it's been 4 minutes, a little longer. So now what we're going to do is we are going to break the coffee. So breaking the coffee means that we're going to take this crust of grounds on top and sink them to the bottom, because we don't want to eat grounds. When you break the coffee, you can smell it too. So I'm going to get all up in there for a second. And show you what that looks like. Hey guys. So I'm going to push the coffee back, and they say that you can get kind of a super sniff in that moment, right? I'm going to push the coffee back, I'm going to pull it forward, I'm going to push it back again, and I'm going to sink it. All right? And then I'm going to rinse my spoon. So here we go. So we're going to start with the Burundi. Oh my gosh. So it says hibiscus on the bag, and I'm really getting that on this wet sniff. So that's broken. Now we're going to go to the Kenya. Okay. You can only break the coffee once, but other people could come and smell the different things. Get kind of a wet sniff. Now we're going to do the Papua New Guinea. Okay. And then we're going to do the Ethiopian Harar. I mean, people love the Harar on the cupping table because the blueberry is just so apparent. You can't miss it. You really can't. If you want to give someone a shoe-in test, ask them what the tasting notes are on Ethiopian Harar, because it's blueberry all day long. Okay. So now we've got our coffees broken. Most of the grounds have sunk to the bottom. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 spoons here. Can I get one more cup? It's an empty cup. Perfect. Thank you so much. So now we're going to take 2 spoons and we're going to clean up the surface of these coffees. What we're trying to do is remove the oil that's floating on top and any grounds that just sort of didn't sink. I like the 2-spoon method because I can almost do it in one hit. Does not have to be perfect. The idea is to just give us some clean coffee to sip in a minute. Okay? So I'm going to clean each of these up. And again, I'm rinsing the spoons in between each one in hot water, 200-degree hot water. The reason I'm doing that is so that I don't cross-contaminate. I don't want to transfer the flavors of one coffee into another coffee. That's going to mess with your palate, right? I'll put it so you can see me. Any questions, hit me up. Coffee cupping is a lot of fun. We do these a lot on the St. Pete Coffee Tour. I know we got some folks from St. Pete Coffee Tour watching. Thank you very much. And we do these in the lab here, the training center at Batdorf. So definitely come visit. We can cup some coffee together. I'm going to be doing some public cuppings on Thursdays once the world is open again. And so you can come by on a Thursday, late morning, early afternoon. If you're able to, stop by, cup some coffees. We'll show you what we have going on. Have a little tasting room. Okay, so I've removed most of the oil. You can see there's a little on the edge, but if you had a straight down shot of the camera, it's mostly clear now, which is what we want. The oil is actually pretty bitter, so we're avoiding that bitterness by removing it. That's also why when you get a shot of espresso, you want to stir it up to incorporate the crema. Because despite the kind of sexiness of crema on a shot of espresso, it's actually quite bitter if it's the only thing on your tongue. So be sure to stir that up next time you try espresso, and maybe you'll love it more than you did before. That is your pro tip for the day. Any questions, hit me up. Don't forget, use the link that we put in there. We put that special link. It's in the description of the video and in the comments, I believe. There's a special little link that kind of connects to the program. If you use that, it'll take you to our website, and you can order any of these coffees from there. And don't forget, 10% off with the code WATCHANDLEARN10. Okay, so now what we're doing, and ask your questions in the comments, please share. Also, please join our group, the VIP Boosters Club on Facebook. Batdorf Boosters, VIP Coffee Club. Look that up, Batdorf Boosters VIP Coffee Club. You just type Batdorf Boosters, it should come up. We just created it. It's a place to talk about coffee. It is a group, so you're welcome to share as well as receive. It's very community focused, which is important to us. We want to connect with the people that love our coffee. It's also a place where we put some special deals, coupons. We're going to be giving you guys some sneak previews of some new coffees that are coming up soon. I'll tell you that in just a few weeks, we actually have a new coffee that's coming out. I'm not going to tell you just what it is today, but I will tell you soon, and we'll post something in the Batdorf Boosters group about that soon. So please join the group. We also do giveaways in there as well, and it's a lot of fun. Post a picture of your morning mug shot or coffee when you receive it to share. It's just a lot of fun. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're letting the coffee cool down. We want all this coffee to come to room temperature. And that's going to take a few minutes. But hey, we have a few minutes, right? Among friends. The reason we do that is we actually want to taste the coffee right about at room temperature. We do that to really taste everything that's in the coffee. Heat does not necessarily change the flavor of the coffee, but what heat does is it has a way of masking everything that's in there. So you taste a little bit less when the coffee is very, very hot. Same thing if it's very, very cold, like ice cold. You taste it's a little bit more muted. So we taste at room temperature because we want to taste everything that's in the coffee. We want an honest assessment of the flavors. Now, a cupping, this is not the way we drink the coffee. So you may not like it in the cup in the cupping, and you may love it in your Chemex, right? You may love it in your coffee machine because you're going to be filtering it, and it's going to impact the overall flavor. I like to do experiments where I take the same coffee and I brew it 4 different ways. Say a Chemex, an AeroPress, a Clever Dripper, and a Kalita Wave. And each of those brewers produces a very different cup to the point where you may not even recognize that it's the same coffee. That's why we do a very neutral kind of brew when we're doing our cupping, because we want to taste everything that's in there. Good, bad, or otherwise, we want to know. I like to tell people, if you've ever poured yourself a cup of coffee in the morning, left it on the kitchen counter and just forgotten about it, and you come back an hour later, it's stone cold, but you're frugal, right? You don't want to waste, so you grab it, you take a little sip. It's gross. You make a face, you spit it, dump it down the sink. Have a terrible day. I'm so sorry. I feel you. I know that feeling because I too used to drink bad coffee. Confessing here. Raise your hand if you're with me. If your coffee tastes terrible at room temperature, it was bad coffee to start with. Okay? And okay. Sorry, I just saw a little thing that made me think that we might be stuttering a little.
Sarah is saying that her audio is still out, but no one else is.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Well, that's all right. We're live, right? We're having fun. Let's see what we can do. Let's do a quick little check here. Okay. All right, well, we're going to keep going. I apologize. I think that we may be a little out of sync. I can't tell. Can you go take a look? But I'm going to keep going and hope that you're with me. All right, so we want to have our coffee at room temperature so that we can judge it fairly and judge it ideally. So that's what we're doing right now. We are waiting for it to cool off so we can taste it at room temperature. Hit me up if you have any questions. Let's take a look here and see if there's any comments that we can look at. All right. Let's see how we're doing. Okay. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see if that's a little bit better. I think it might be off a little bit, but anyway, we'll continue. So now what we're going to do is we're going to taste the coffee. So I'm going to go down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a spoonful of the coffee. It's probably a little warm still, but for the sake of time with the video, we're going to go ahead and taste it. Slightly abbreviated. I would normally let it cool a few more minutes. We're going to go ahead and taste the coffee. I'm going to put it on my spoon, take a loud slurp, because I want to aerate all of the coffee across my palate. I want to aspirate that. and really be able to taste everything that's there. And you can swallow the coffee, you can spit it out if you want, either way. So here we go. Again, I'm rinsing in clean water. Got the A-OK that you can hear me. Awesome. One more. Again, I'm rinsing each time. I'm sorry if that slurp is loud, especially with a microphone, but it should be loud. It should be like a zipper. We really want to get all of that coffee flavor across our entire palate, ideally. Okay? All right. So I also encourage you to go back and taste them again. I find that the first taste sometimes sets your palate, and going back again really can help you pick up the differences. The Burundi is giving me tangerine all day long. Oh my gosh. So tangerine. So like apricot, almost somewhere between the two. But like if you have dried apricot and it's got that intensely sweet flavor, I love that. Okay, so we'll move on to the Kenya. So the Kenya is like a peachy sweetness. It's a little less tangy than the Burundi. It's just delicious and sweet. I really love it. Papua New Guinea, definitely the lemon. The cedar back notes, that sort of pleasant woodiness. I love it. But definitely that lemon zip is there for me. And then the Harar, you can't not say blueberry. The blueberry is very, very clear. But I also get where the sage comes in. That sort of herbaceousness that's in there that doesn't make it just candy, just like berries in a cup. It kind of makes it a balanced cup of coffee at the same time. You remember for the Harar, we did an iced coffee with this, and it was amazing. Really, really good. So that's it, guys. These are our coffees for today. The Ethiopian Harar, the Papua New Guinea, Norikori, the Kenya, and then lastly, the Burundi. All of these are available on batdorfcoffee.com. If you follow the link in the description or in the comments and purchase any of these today, you can use our coupon code, which is Watch and Learn 10, to save 10% off your entire order. That will include if you purchase anything else. So if you need a grinder, if you need a brewer, a Chemex, if you need an AeroPress, Clever Dripper, all of these we've gone through in previous videos you can watch. And then tomorrow at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, we're going to cup through the coffees from the Americas. So if you enjoyed today, come back tomorrow. We'll make it bigger and better, try some other coffees. Thanks for hanging out. Do we have any questions that have come in that we haven't answered? Okay. All right. How are we doing on shares over there? Because I think it's time to give away some coffee. What do you guys think? So if you're still with us, then we're going to give away some coffee. So let's see who we have here. Okay. So completely chosen at random. Congratulations, Maria Smith. You're our winner today. You are going to win a bag of any of the coffees you want. So take a look, Maria, at the descriptions at the coffees here. You let us know which coffee you would like, and we will roast it for you and get it right out to you right away. Okay. So send us a message. You can send it right to me if you like, with the coffee that you would like, and we will get that right out to you. Don't forget, guys, watch and learn 10 to save 10%. My name is Brendan Smith. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm grateful that you're with me, and we'll see you tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Don't forget, Josh and Ben, my colleagues out in Olympia, have videos that they're doing every weekday morning. That's 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 o'clock noon on weekdays, a little shorter videos. Really interesting, really fun, so tune in for that. And we'll see you later. Have a great day, guys.